What's up, everybody? So today I want to make a video on having success with plants. So, you know, a lot of people want to know how you can get aquariums that flourish just like this, or just like this, or just like my other tanks. It's actually quite simple. All you really need to do is have patience, have, decent quality, substrate lighting, and which doesn't really take much, and I'll explain. And, start off with some simple plants that are really gonna take off and are gonna make you feel like $1,000,000. And then you can get into the tougher stuff, and you can like understand kind of how your tank is flowing, and then you can, move on. You can bump up your lighting, bump up, your fertilization. Then you can maybe bump up CO2 if you wanted, if you're running it, or, if you can't because your lighting's not high enough. But now that your lighting's higher, you can get away with bumping up that CO2 and, starting those, harder to grow plants and having more success. But the beginning of it is growing plants. You want to have success, so you want to use easy plants to start with. And that's the one key thing. The numero uno key thing. That's all I know in Spanish, pretty much. About growing plants is that I keep easy plants. There's not one hard plant in my tanks. And I don't, I'm just straight up about it. All these plants are easy. And I like that. I like keeping easy plants because they grow like crazy. And I have great success. And they just look fantastic. So that's the thing. You can start out, here's what I recommend you doing. Search your local area. You might have a Facebook group like I do, a local Facebook group to your area. You can meet some amazing people on there that do amazing things. You can learn from each other. But, the most important thing is look around, and find some cheap lighting. Just start out with a T8 bulb light fixture with like the round diameter. It's a T8. It says right on the bulb. It's what fits the light fixture. And I'd say for something like 24 to 30 inches, run 2 to 3 bulbs. Which is nothing, folks. That's cheap. You can get that dirt cheap around. I straight up, my 65-gallon over there, that 65-gallon, right on the far left, that's like, I don't even know, 24, 26 inches tall. There's two T8 fixtures on that, folks. There's one that just fits the tank, and there's one that's a bit smaller. Not even two that, is big enough for the aquarium. Only one that actually fits it, and one that's a bit smaller. 2 T8 bulbs. Which is just crazy. You can get those dirt cheap. You can get those absolutely dirt cheap. And then just replace the bulbs, or the bulbs might even still be good. That's another thing. They say to replace your bulbs once a year. I don't know if it's me, but I haven't replaced these in probably 2 years. They're still growing fine. It probably would help, the Kelvin spectrum, because that's what goes on. Eventually the Kelvin gets a little low, and, the spectrum gets a little weird. I'm not exactly sure what happens, but something like that. So it's good to change them, every once in a while. So I should be changing these pretty soon here. But, you can get away, without doing it every year. Maybe 2-3 years, I'd recommend. But that's another topic, and that's, a discussion for debate. But, yeah. Get like 2-3, you can get fixtures that have 2 or 3 bulbs on them. And then, like, if you're running anything lower than that, get 1 to 2, you're good. Then, what you need to do is you need to go to Home Depot and get some Miracle-Gro Organic Choice potting mix. I'm lazy. All I do is I dump it in. I get it a little moist, about an inch of it. Cap it with an inch of gravel, about like pea-sized gravel, but you can kind of do what you want. And roll from there. Make sure the dirt is moist, like I said, like just like you can kind of like mold it with your hand. And then fill that up. Plant the heck out of it. Plant with super easy plants. Jungle Val, Anubias, Java Fern, Hygrophila angustifolia, you know, all of those. Super easy plants. Just go to your local fish store and say, I want easy plants, because Gavin told me so. Run the lights 6 to 8 hours a day. I'd start at 7, bump it up. You will get melt back, but the growth will be insane. I say, you know, within a month, you're going to be so happy that you did this. Also, I like to use red crushed up clay in the substrate. It gives a little bit more iron, and also has an iron binding ability. What else? Oh yeah, when you first dirt the aquarium, I guess it's kind of like a dirtying aquarium / lighting / easy plants to have success video. When you're dirtying the aquarium, make sure you do, you know, at least one huge water change to kind of just get those excess nutrients out of there, and then you're pretty much key. You can do more, but I say that one, you know, I do about 1 to 2, and you should be fine. And then, you know, also a good thing about dirt is that it actually has a lot of biological bacteria in it, like bacteria that help your aquarium get established quicker. And there's just a lot of good stuff in there. You can pick out the bigger chunks out of it if you want, but I just throw it in straight up. It will be a little bit less of a mess when you uproot plants if you pick out the bigger chunks. Another thing is it can be messy at times, so kind of pull up plants slowly. I don't really pull up plants too much. If I do, I kind of just trim them real low and then kind of just, you know, just leave it. And I understand that not everybody likes the dirted aquarium, and I got to get real close up and personal with you all, because I understand this. Not everybody likes a dirted aquarium. I understand this. So, you know, go, you know, and that's where it kind of gets expensive to get a quality substrate. But, you know, the ADA soils, you know. But, you know, you can get cheaper stuff like the Fluorites and the Eco-Completes. You can get away with. But it's just going to take more work, you know, in the long run. Because they don't have, in my opinion, the amount of nutrients that dirt does. Unless you want to spend the big bucks on, you know, ADA soils and stuff like that, which are, you know, very good for the aquarium. But honestly, you know, like things like Eco-Complete, Fluorite, stuff like that, they'll work. They'll just take a little bit more work, you know, water change wise, because water changes, you know, you can replace the nutrients in your water with water changes. That's why they're so key. And also fertilization, you might have to do some of that. But I strongly recommend dirt, just because, you know, I've just had such great success with it. A big bag is like $8. You can't get better than that. So, yeah, folks, that's what I got for you. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. And peace out. Later.